So I was talking to a male friend of mine the other day, and he told me that women don't apologize and women can't be held accountable. And I began to really think deeply about this idea. And one of the things that came across my mind is in the last 9 months or so of me being in my private practice, I have myself experienced many women, whether they came as a couple or they came by themselves, they very abruptly discontinued their therapy. And I started to reflect and really think, what was going on here? And I noticed that after I had to confront them about something, I had to bring to their attention something they were doing that wasn't contributing to the health of the relationship, they became very defensive and very, just very harsh, and they stopped coming. And even though the husband would continue to come, he made it very clear that, yeah, she won't apologize. She thinks you're wrong. She thinks you're taking my side. And I began to really reflect like, oh my gosh, is it true that women don't apologize? Is it that women struggle with being held accountable? I'd love your thoughts on this. Me personally, I think it has to do with a person's level of emotional maturity. What do you think?
Well, let's take him to the Jenkins.
Guys, what do y'all think about that video? Like, the thing that I've noticed with women, most women do not like accountability because they never had to be held accountable for anything in their life. Bing! If I feel like I'm being honest, bro, think about the average woman's life. She's always told she's pretty, she's beautiful. Her friends don't hold her accountable. Her parents, if you don't have a strong father in your life, you don't have that disciplinarian in the house a lot of the time. So you have your mother validating your feelings constantly. You don't have any kind of like people telling you that, hey, that wasn't cool. So I think that carries over into relationships a lot of the time. And when a woman, I've noticed, when critiquing a woman, you have to be very careful how you do it. You can't use the words I, and a woman can't feel attacked because once she feels that way, she shuts down. Kind of like in the therapy session there. So I've noticed that in most therapy sessions, honestly, what I've seen is that most therapists actually take the woman's side a lot of the time, which is why they continue to go. Yep. But you have one right here who literally is telling you that, hey, I want to tell you how it is and be, not biased. And then all of a sudden, it's like they can't handle the heat no more. So I think that most women get kind of mad when they're held accountable because they never had to do it in their whole life. What you guys got?
I mean, I feel like personally, I'm pretty good at it. I can let my emotions sometimes affect me, but majority of the time, I feel like I'm better than most women. But I feel like the average woman possibly they just don't like to be wrong. So I mean, I'm not saying men don't either because it happens with men, but I do think women don't really like to be wrong.
But I'll tell you why I think that, and again, there's exceptions to every rule, but I think that most men are okay with understanding there's a certain level of accountability in their life. A lot of men have played sports before, or had a strong father in their life, or had male figures. You see the way that we talk, we kick it to you straight, real, like just raw, pause. We always have people that keep it real with us. And men, when we have those things in our life, we just been most likely told that we ain't shit. Or we understand that in our life, if you're not like a guy that's killing it with women, you automatically held accountable automatically. If you don't have a six-pack, if you're not in shape, if you don't have any money, you're punished by that reality very quickly by not getting sex. Women, on the other hand, you can be fat, overweight, out of shape, bad attitude, and people will still tell you how wonderful and beautiful that you are. As a man, that's not how it works.
Absolutely right. And not to get off topic.
Go ahead, bro.
But I saw a video where this dude was walking. He was like a regular sized dude, regular build, probably was an athlete back in the day. He was walking this woman out the house and she was like 400 pounds. And he was trying to hurry up and sneak and do it so nobody could see what was leaving his place. But it goes along with your point. You could still be, a low quality woman and still get D down, so you're not held accountable. You never had to correct things or be better. So, and that just translates to relationships.
It's funny, bro, because there are a whole bunch of fetish sites for BBW women. How many you know there for fat men?
Oh, I don't think
Women
there are any.
Women out there actually actively sexualizing fat men.
Women love teddy bears.
Teddy bears is crazy.
At the fair. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I don't
want-
love me a teddy bear.
But I just think that the man's life is just so much more about accountability than a woman's not. A woman can live in fantasy land for a very long time. If a man's a loser by 18, he knows it. A woman can be a loser up to about 40 or 45 before she ever even realizes it. And by that time, it's too late.
That's some real shit, bro.
Yeah.
What you got, Shanita? What you think about the whole accountability thing? And
I mean, I can say for myself, thankfully, you know, I was blessed and fortunate enough where I had not two men that I call my dads that were very present, very strong.
that's awesome.
Men and whatnot. So I feel as though my biological dad very, very strong minded. So as far as that accountability piece, he would call me out, even still to this day, call me out on my shit in a heartbeat. I think my same thing for my mom as well. Like she probably wouldn't maybe be as forward as my dad. She definitely still would kind of call me on my shit, like, hey, I noticed maybe a couple of days ago you was doing this and the third, or blah 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 blah. And then also as well for myself, I would say that, you know, I think I mentioned about it previously on the show that I do also see like a therapist as well too. So when I'm like kind of recounting different things that have occurred in my life, we'll kind of pinpoint and talk to like, you know, what are some of the things that I did personally myself that attributed to either, you know, the relationship ending or certain circumstances and whatnot, and just kind of better understanding the things that I do that, you know, just how things work out in my life personally. And so I will say for myself that thankfully, because of those different factors, that I am more accountable about, you know, different things and how my actions, you know, play a role with different things like that. But for some women, unfortunately, again, if you've been called at your entire life and no one ever called you on like your attitude or saying like, hey, that's not really cute, to be, you know, mean, nasty, disrespectful, calling Negroes out of their name and things like that, then you'll kind of continue to go through life thinking that's okay until, not saying it's all right, until like all you. And then you over here getting a reality check. Yeah, so.
But you see, that's why people love coming over just to talk to either me or C. Marty. And people come over here for a podcast, a lot of time they'll stick around for 3 or 4 hours after the fact because, you know, we kick it to them pretty much just like a real no nonsense, we hold women accountable, but we do it in a respectful way, you know, because most women don't have the kind of just direct masculine influence that they need to foster in their life. Most women have their girls around, like I said, or their mom that condone their BS. And, you know, moms, for the most part, are very passive when it comes to raising the kid. They don't want the kid's feelings to ever be hurt or face any kind of adversity. And that's not what you need to become a strong, productive member of society. Mm-hmm. You know, we do things. A father's hand is about being disciplinarian and then being corrective in your life as well. And most people are missing that role in their life. And Tune too. Shout out Tune, man.
I also wanted to mention as well too, because that's also different. I feel like even in having like brothers or like male figures and whatnot in your life, like it was like a video going on, like I think it was like a toxic relationship, and she had called up her homeboy, and she was like, "Oh, he doing? He don't want you." It was just that simple, like he don't want you. And then she started crying and booing, like he was just literally like, "You stupid, like leave him alone." Not maybe y'all the cute, oh girl, you know, and then trying to like, it's like further feed the delusion. Not saying you don't got some homegirls that kind of call you out on it or whatnot, but I feel like the way men assess the situation, no, look, cut this off. It's a waste of time. Leave it alone. I don't even want to hear about it no more. Leave this shit alone.
They ain't gonna listen anyway. But
I mean, yeah, but
at least you have a man to tell you that.
Yeah,
though.
it's stupid and dumb. He don't like you. Let me say it again. He don't like you.
But you know what? It's funny you mentioned that though, Shanita, because like women don't understand that lesson until it's like 3 or 4 years go by. And like, that's what I always hate when women try to come through and say, oh, I didn't see anything. It just came out of nowhere. I'm like, no, you saw it. You ignored the red flags. You kept pushing, hoping it'll get better. And then you're like 3 or 4 years older. You have a kid or two. And now you're like, oh my God, what do I do now? I'm like, man, I'm the kind of guy that I don't have to go through a lesson myself to learn a lesson. My favorite quote is a wise man learns from others' mistakes. A fool learns from his own. So if I see you go through a mistake by yourself that you made it, I don't got to experience that lesson for me. I see you did it. I'm like, I'm good. Don't need it no more. That's why I don't have any kids. That's why I have a bunch of women, you know, doing DV things on me. I don't have any of that because I understand the power of consequences and having good thinking.
Why?
See, Marty.
Why they be trying to diss dudes our age with no kids? Because we use discernment.
Who be doing that?
I see it all the
of women
time.
say
They
a
do?
man above 30 with no kids is a red flag because they deal with low quality men and try to like project that on us. But I will say, this is gonna sound messed up, but it's a double standard. But a man above 30 that's single is not a red flag. But a woman above 30 that's never been in a long-term relationship is single, that's a huge red flag for me. Because I just know that with a woman, they prioritize relationships. Most women prioritize relationships, getting married, things like that. And if a woman got to the age of 30 and is not married or never had a long-term relationship, it ain't because she ain't want one. And she ain't been sitting there not having sex either. So what you think she been doing them 7 or 8 years she been having sex? Messing with either a dude that wasn't good for her.
Pookie and Ray Ray.
I was trying to avoid it, but
You go ahead and say Tyrone, Pookie and Ray Ray.
getting stroked out by them, or she been a lot more than you think she has.
I think somebody actually mentioned something about this online, and they said because the box was trash.
Wait, what you mean?
That's what someone had said. That was like it was like again like all these beautiful women, and this and the third that be online, but then they've been single for like years, and
Stupid.
so guys were over that comment saying like, "Oh, that's because the box be trash. That's why guys don't want to commit."
Stupid.
But my brother told me some real stuff. He's just like that. Guys, we don't play about good women for the most part. When we have a good woman, we gonna lock them down immediately. Women play about good men all the time because y'all always think that you can do better. When in reality, as C. Marty said earlier, the numbers are not on your side. When you find a man that's halfway decent, that's in pretty good shape, makes decent money, loves and care about you, that's your time to cash out, not a time to say, "Oh, I can do better. I hope better comes along," because it's probably not going to happen for you.
I will admit, you said again, numbers aren't on our side because again, naturally there are more women than there are men,
especially black men.
Yeah, black men, and then you have like certain, let's say, like, okay, hey, you want to hit. I forgot what site it was, but say it's a woman that's like, okay, I want to meet a man and this age, this age range.
The female delusional calculator.
Yeah, or like, okay, hey, he need to make this much. He need to have only, let's say, one kid, and if you do got 2 kids, it got to be from one baby mom, and then he need to have and I feel like it keeps dwindling down in order to find like a good, eligible man that you might, actually want to go about and being about, and even in like, not saying he got to look, whatever your favorite. I don't know, celebrity got to look like, or, but again, to your point, finding someone that you are attracted to, you like and vibe out with them. And I think also a thing as well, when we watch some women are single, and I think you guys have mentioned it previously before, I think there's a lot of beautiful, very, very beautiful women, but then like kind of like no personality, just kind of like maybe a little bit on the slow side and just, just nothing. So they're not as interesting maybe as they maybe think they are. So then when a man gets to know them, it's like, I don't really like maybe who you are as a person.
Men will overlook a lot of things when a woman has a pretty face. And another quote that I live by and I love is that men settle and think they won the lottery. Women win the lottery and think they settle. So a woman will get a guy that's just average build, average looks, and average money and think that she can do better. While a man will go with a woman that just looks halfway decent but has no emotional intelligence, can't cook, can't clean, but just look good, they think that they won the lottery. But in reality, it's more about character. How a woman treats you. Will she be a good mother? And what happens, I think, Tomas did a graph on this too, is that, the average age of marriage is like 27, 28 in America, right? So what's happening at that point in time? A man's value is going up, generally speaking, and a woman's value is going down. So they meet kind of right here in this weird middle point where like a man pretty much, he cashes out before he's about to start making some serious money, making more status, getting more clout, and a woman cashes out when her value is going down. So it's really not a fair trade-off for most men because as I'm about to hit the stratosphere, you're kind of impeding that when you already have experienced your peak at 18 to 22, you've already gone through, the ball players, the rappers, the athletes, things like that. And now you want to go ahead and give me used goods. And of course, it's not all women, but most do that. So I don't get to have that same prime that you had when you were out experiencing your options, because women experience their options very, 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 very early on in life. If a woman's hot enough at 18 to 21, she's going to be on yachts, boats, out there getting flown out, That's what a woman's peak is for the most part. Not all women, but a good majority of them. But when I'm 35 to 38, if I've been putting in the work now it's my time to go ahead and be vindicated and go out and start flying little baddies out and stuff like that. But most men never get to that point because they cash out too soon and women cash out too late. Anybody else got anything else?
I thought, no, but I still heard kind of just the thing that's kind of interesting still as well, that women would kind of think it's weird that you guys don't have any, or any man that's over a certain age, like, don't have any kids. Because as you, again, I know you mention it constantly over and over again about, like, just, again, learning lessons through others so that you don't also make the same type of mistakes. As we see a lot of times, a lot of people out here celebrating, like, you know, baby showers, and while children are a beautiful thing, it's a lot that comes along with it ultimately.
Sure.
So I feel like I commend any man who is, you know, taking his time to go about having a child, beyond just having like child, like, you know, if he can go about like finding a wife and then settling down and being with, you know, and actually, again, it's a real whole lot. So I feel like that's a good thing,
But
honestly.
Can I just, before we kind of shut down here, I'm gonna tell you why most women don't understand when a man's 30 years old and don't have any kids, because it's so freaking rare. And women are used to dealing with guys that are losers, that have 4 or 5 kids by 28 and 29, 3 different baby moms. So when you meet a guy like me, a guy like C. Marty, a guy like Toon, it's like, it's not going to compute because that's not your reality. You deal with bums and losers. It's high quality over here. So I try to tell people all the time, when God made me, when he made C. Marty, when he made Toon, God's actually out here doing something, trying to like make things happen with life. He made us and broke the mold. And any kind of woman that's going to come to us and actually want to be with us, they have to prove they're valuable. They have to be a good person. They actually have to do something other than just be a pretty face. And most women, that's not the reality for them. They're used to just having a and then being accepted. But the higher a guy is in his value, and we got a long way to go where we're trying to get, you know, but a higher guy in his value, the more standards he has. And most guys don't have standards whatsoever. And no girl is going to just have my kid. And I think I can speak pretty confidently for C. Marty and for Toon the same exact way. You got to be pretty special and bring something to the table.